Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of Time Well Secrets. I'm your host, Sam Fury. Um, Last couple of days, well, it's the weekend, but yesterday I hired someone to help switch over um, SF nonfiction books from the original platform to the new one. I tried to do it myself, but it was just taking too much time to learn. And so I interviewed a couple of people. Um, and all I really asked for is like to make the base structure of the funnel, um, and so the funnel is going to be a book. We have lots of books in SF nonfiction books, so the books are the entry points. So there'll be lots of entry points, and they're the break even. That'll be the break even initial product. So that's basically what that means is that usually you put out a lead magnet and you give away something for free and get an email address. So that's basically this, but this is a really low cost product, and it's an irresistible offer in quotation marks, because I don't know if the offers are really irresistible. But basically, you get the book for like any book for like $4, and you get a bunch of bonuses with it. And the idea is that instead of getting people that opt in for stuff for free, because if um, you want to get them to pay at least something, even if it's a small amount, because then you know that they're willing to buy at least something, right? So it's not just about getting lots of people on your email list, which is the goal when you're first starting a business is to build up your list, right? Build up the traffic that you can that you own. Um, it's to get people, like quality people on your list that are willing to buy. And of course, then it goes through a funnel. So if they buy that, and then they can have they get like an upsell offer, like just a one tick upsell offer, like a training schedule or something, or whatever, or an audiobook version, right, for like another $17 or something. And then the next thing is the upsell, which is going to be a membership, right, for like $5 or $10 a month, and they can get access to everything in the SF nonfiction books, and which will get constantly updated and added to. And if they refuse that, well, then they get sent to like, all right, how about a bundle of similar books, or whatever, or the video course or whatever. All right, so that's the funnel that I explained to him. I don't know if the membership site's a good idea, but for the time rich principle, it's how we want to do it. He did mention that you're probably going to have more success um, having like the book and then a bundle and then another irresistible offer. So two upsells instead of an upsell and a downsell, and not with the continuity program. So on a membership site, when they have to keep paying every month, or a subscription based, they call that a continuity program, for those of you that don't know. So if you don't, but as a time wealth principle, because I'm trying to make everything time wealthy, as a time wealth principle, I want it to have a continuity program. So even if it's less money initially at the start, in the long run, hopefully it'll be a better fit. So that's what's been going on. He's starting today, and I think today I've got to go out in the afternoon. We're going to go check out the town of Rio, and I looked on the map earlier, and there's like a bunch of stuff in a little area that we can go check out. And also, my friend wants to friend slash coworker wants to be there at least at night for a little bit and just have a drink, because apparently it's really nice. So we'll do that, have dinner out, and then have a beer there, and then come back here and maybe have a cocktail. There's a good place on the beach that we went to the other day, and the cocktails are really strong. So we just had one, and it was enough. So if we have a beer and a cocktail, and then that'll be it. So that'll be all right. And then, but also work-wise, so we're going to be working all morning. I'm going to start today. I think we've decided that we'll start to work through building, going through, or starting to build the plan of how to build a time-rich business. So we're going to start experimenting with that. So that'll be good. Also, we worked out a contract for her to take more a lot more responsibility in SF nonfiction books. So hopefully by the end of this 6 weeks, I can be almost completely hands off, minus a few things, so my role will be like mentorship as opposed to the day-to-day running of that. So hopefully that'll free up a lot of my time. Speaking of time, today's episode, let's get into today's episode. Today's episode is about how to create time, right? In a business sense, in a business sense, because starting a business is really hard work, especially at the start. It's not exactly difficult, but it's just you got to put in a lot of hours, right? And you got to. It's hard in the sense that you just got to push through the negativity. I think is probably the hardest part. That's where a lot of people fail in businesses. They don't have the mindset for it. But actually, the process is pretty simple. I mean, I'm not super. What do you call it? Super successful in business by any means, right? But I can say my life is pretty time rich if I want it to be. I just pretty basically just took 6 months off and like my business didn't fail. So that was pretty good. So anyway, so it's hard work, especially at the start. So I know that if I'm trying to make a course that's going to build a time rich business, people will be able to make at least $2,000 a month consistently with minimal effort day to day. But that first initial effort, that first 1 to 3 months, I'm going to say it's going to take 3 months, is going to be a lot of work, right? It's going to be 8+ hours a day, and plus while you've got your other job or whatever, because you can't just dive into it, or you're going to have to take off like some leave, take a month off work, and then just really work hard. We could probably do it in a month. I reckon we could do it in a month. $2,000 a month isn't that difficult. All right. So here's my tips for that. The first thing is to use concentrated effort. So this is in a number of senses, right? The first one, I forget what the method is, but it's basically you sit down for 50 minutes and just concentrate on one thing, and that's it. And then every 50 minutes you like take a 10-minute break, because the Pavlov, no, that's the dog thing. Anyway, for some reason, if you know that you're going to have a 10-minute break at the end, and you know you've only got a limited amount of time to do stuff, you concentrate more, so you get more done in less time. So concentrate so that's per task. And in the big plan, like I mentioned before, if you do hard work now for less work later, so you say, all right, I'm going to build a time-rich business, I'm going to get it all set up within a month, and then you work really, really hard for that month. You put in like really long hours, concentrated effort for a month, and then after that month it gets much easier, right? Well, after that 3 months it gets much easier, because you've already done all the hard setup, and all you've got to do is like record one of these once a day, record one of these once a day for marketing, and maybe set up a Facebook ad once a day for marketing, and then maybe once a month or once a week or once a month you create some new front-end offers to attract new customers, and maybe do a webinar once a week. So it's about like 4 hours of work a week. It's like Timothy Ferris, the 4 hour work week. I guess, is this a rip-off of that? I don't think so, because that was old. All right, and there's a different method. There's definitely a different method. Okay. So the next thing is to create workflows. I talked about this the other day. Workflows are super important. I'm a big believer in workflows. I could probably make a whole course on how to create workflows. Maybe I'll do that and add that as a bonus to the Time Well thing. Anyway, so what's a workflow? A workflow is a set of instructions. You're basically writing instructions. So whenever you've got a task that you've got to do and you know you're going to have to repeat it, write down the set of instructions, and then so the next time you don't have to rethink it, you just follow the instructions, right? And writing it down also allows you to refine it. Writing stuff down just makes it clearer in your brain so you can refine it. So workflow saves time on repeated tasks, right? And also, the second thing of how it's going to save you time is that it can become repeat revenue. Like I just mentioned, maybe I'll create a course on how to make workflows, and then I could sell it if I wanted to, and then that'll become repeated revenue, which in the future, if you have lots of those, it's creating time, because you don't have to work for that money, right? It's just doing it automatically. So that's workflows. And the last one is to outsource, right? So you've created these workflows, and then you can hire someone to do the repeated task. Outsource the task. So you can either do it yourself a few times and create the workflow and then outsource that, or for things that you definitely can't do, like for example, I not necessarily can't do, but don't want to or don't have the time to do it. For example, swapping over SF Nonfiction books to Survival Fitness Plan. SF Nonfiction books from CF1 to the new platform. I hired someone to do it, he's going to do it better than I could because he already knows how and he's already done it numerous times, and it's going to be much faster, right? And I think it only cost me like $1,000. It's only going to cost me $1,000, and it's going to take him 5 days, he says. And probably if I was doing it myself, it would take me like 2 weeks, and then I have to learn everything. You know what I mean? And the other good thing is that I got him as a stipulation. I said, listen, once you're doing it, and once you've added the product, because we're going to be adding more and more products, make sure you tape an instruction video so I can do it myself or do it like internally. And he said yes. So that's a big plus. If you can, if you do hire someone to do stuff and it's going to be a repeated task, get them to make the instructional video. All right, that's it. So you can see that, like, because I've got an existing businesses that I'm trying to turn into time wealth businesses, it's a lot of work. So the best thing to do actually is, if you're just starting a new business, is to just do it right from the start with a time rich business, right? Build your time rich business from the start. And then in like 3 or 4 months, or you can build numerous time rich businesses and they'll all be time rich. The only problem you'll have is what to do with all your time. What do you want to do with your time? Being an entrepreneur, with all my spare time, I reinvest it back into the business. Or I like to travel a lot, or I like to learn stuff, and I don't have family, so a lot of people would use it to spend time with their family, right? Cool. All right, that is it for today. If you want to learn more about how to build your own time-rich business, go to www.timewealthsecrets.com. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Not tomorrow, 2 days' time. 3 days' time, because it's Sunday. I don't make these on Sunday. All right.